Nico behind the wheel. Let's see, this is now a couple laps into their stint.
Now someone may have hit them as a Mercedes driving off, so something may have happened up at La Source. Mercedes has trickled down the hill. He's on driver's left. In fact, I think he's going to the party. But he's got that car is going to need to be moved. It's on the tarmac section, which actually feeds onto the rallycross section, but that's behind the barriers at the moment. But Fabian Schiller, hold on, that's the number 17 Mercedes. That's the one that just served a drive-through penalty from the lead of the race. Did that then just pit again? Hold on, Fabian Schiller, look at that on screen. He's down in 17th place. Okay, so he's done a lap or so, so he's probably done an out lap. Did they come back in after the drive-through penalty, do a driver change? Quite possibly, but just there now, it is.
Yes.
Fabian Schiller, this is, hold on. Do not lead this race, anybody. You will hit trouble. Or don't be in the top three, because we're suddenly starting to fall. Lucas Stolz, Jules Grunot, Fabian Schiller had not put a wheel wrong until they did whatever they did to get the drive-through penalty. I can't remember. No, there was contact
yeah.
with the 991 BMW. And maybe this problem is a result of that contact. Something may have gradually been weakened and gradually got to the point it's failing. But that is a Mercedes going nowhere at all, and certainly nowhere fast.
Well, this was one of the front-running cars that emerged several hours ago as perhaps the front-running car at this still relatively early stage of the race. And then it all did go amiss. That drive-through penalty dropped them well down the order.
Okay, incident car 17, the one we're looking at, and car 39 at turn 1. So something had happened at La Source. Car 31 is one of the Team WRT BMWs. That's the one shared by Dries Van Tor. That was the car that had the rear bumper come off the back of it. Remember, he got given a thump up at La Source quite some while ago. It was daylight. We're now hours into darkness. So I said 31, it's car 39. I think my eyes are starting to go under cover of darkness as well. Car 39 is 99, they're doubly going. So it's the Trezor attempt to Audi. Sorry, I cannot.
In your defense, it does say 39 on our screen. Okay. So, all right, but that is the Audi that we saw limping up the hill. Yeah. So, all right, we can kind of put to bed that mystery a little bit. But this car, like you said, going nowhere fast. My goodness. Another front-running car hitting trouble, and we've not even reached the halfway mark.
Well, unfortunately for the GetSpeed team, I mean, they've run really strongly in the last couple of weekends, and again, it was the front end set back. And just remember, we reckoned that drive-through penalty, and it was going to full course yellow. Who's in the pits at the moment? Who's going to be helped out by that? Well, I tell you what, Max Hesse is in the pits.
Yes.
Well, let's listen to some team radio from the car that's at the side of the track. It's Fabian Schiller's. It's car 17.
I'm so sorry, guys, honestly. Three times he opened the door for me and drove around the outside, and then in turn 1 he goes wide again. I go to the inside and he just comes completely and cuts back.
Okay, that's a totally deflated Fabian Schiller. Frustrated, he was trying to get past Alberto Di Folco, who was probably a couple of laps down in the number 99 Audi from Trezor Attempto Racing. That's his explanation. Maybe Alberto will have a different one, but the outcome is a car that was a front runner in the race, would have had the potential to work its way up, but had just served a drive-through penalty. That dropped it out of that lead grouping, and bear in mind it was pretty much in first or second since the start of the race, seldom outside the top 6, and now outside the running, stopped at the side of the track. And another car is sitting at the side of the track by the look of things, or is it just moving slowly as we look at the headlights? It's very hard because, of course, it's full course yellow. Now, car's running slowly, and it's a course vehicle out onto the circuit now with the green lights flashing on its roof.
I think the car we're looking at here is Max Hesse, and you rightly pointed out they were in the pits. They were pitting on sequence when this full course yellow came out. That is great news for them. That means they'll lose less time being stationary relative to the rest of the field, so I'm really curious to see where they cycle through. Yeah.
Front end damage on Alberto Di Folco's. This is the Audi that had a clash with the number 17 Schiller-driven Mercedes. It looks the front, well, the bodywork on the front has stoved in. Has it gone as far as the radiator? Possibly, possibly not. But I think it's front right corner damage on the look of that by the looks of things. But Fabian Schiller also in that contact at La Source, going nowhere. The lights are off.
Memory served, that car had some front end damage already, I think. The 99, I seem to recall. seeing that at an earlier stage in the race. It does seem a bit more disheveled than it had previously. Oh man, the shake of the head from the gentleman on the left there tells the whole story. Frustration on this side of the equation as well for Dresser Attempto.
Yeah, well, it's probably Arkinaka looking over his team, and that's a team that's grown and grown and just suddenly started running. They ran all sorts of manufacturers' cars in GT racing over the past decade. Used to run them literally unliveried, just sort of looked as though they'd hand painted them in blue, but ran all sorts. But that, it looks as though it's a sort of over and out. The amounts of work going on that car, oh, the frustration on the face of the mechanic. If that helmet gets undone, but yeah, I think I've got the pencil of doom, I'm afraid, over car 99. Be interesting to find out what the actual damage is. To me, it looks as though it's the front right-hand corner, but contact in darkness just around 2 o'clock in the morning. In fact, gosh, nearly 1:30 in the morning. That's a very, very tough pill to swallow.
This car in class had been a front runner at times. They were a bit on the back foot when this incident occurred, but earlier on, Alex Aka had a really good stint very early in the race to bring them up into contention. Subsequently, they had dropped down the order somewhat, but in those lower classes where the driver lineup composition has greater variance, it really does ebb and flow quite a bit, depending on who's in the car at what time relative to the other lineups. That said,